Hey everyone, welcome back to Newfound Happy Hour. If you are new here, my name is Sarah, and this is a podcast where we talk about different people and things going on in Newfoundland, different events and organizations, basically just cool people doing cool things. I usually am supposed to do this bi-weekly, but obviously life gets busy. September came and went, and I usually get back on track with work and schedules and being consistent, but this year was different. I had my birthday, and then I stood in a friend's wedding, and then not long after that, I had yet another trip to Toronto. So my heart is full, but my schedule was super full too, and yeah, I've been a little bit distracted from doing this, and but yeah, it's in a very good way, so it's okay. I did want to get back at this though, and normally I have something to put out there, or like a message I want to get across, or someone that I want to talk to, and I just wasn't really, I was just very busy, but I wasn't feeling it until now. And like I said, I was just on a trip, and like I really don't care what anyone thinks about this stuff, but I know a lot of people are into it. And yeah, when I was on my trip, we had a night where we were writing down some manifestations and just talking about different experiences. And we burned a lot of sage. And like personally, I do believe in this stuff. I think even if you aren't connected to it spiritually, like I say in this episode, it's still a good tool to kind of evaluate your life and your perspective. And I don't think everyone is meant to fully be in this, so I understand that not everyone is, that comfortable with it. But I know where I'm at with it, and especially during this time of year, everyone's kind of tapping into things like this a little bit more. Witchy energy or spooky energy, whatever you want to call it. Even just spiritual energy, I would say. But it's not spooky to me. Like, I find it very comforting, in all honesty. But I always like hearing from people who have more knowledge and understanding and who have real gifts when it comes to this stuff. So when I came across this Instagram account, Newfoundland Witch Co, I thought it would be a perfect little Halloween episode. And she has a couple events coming up too. So we're going to talk about that. So this is my conversation with Amanda from Newfoundland Witch Co. All right, yeah. So today I'm talking to Amanda. Do you want to tell everyone where you're from?
Hi, my name is Amanda, and I'm originally from Twillingate, so it's Newfoundland, and I'm kind of in between places right now. Like I just moved back to the East Coast, but I'm still on the West Coast, so I'm just like kind of all over the island. But I was born and raised in Twillingate, so that's where I grew up, and then I moved to St. John's. Yeah.
And I usually start with how we know each other, because normally my guests are people that I've met before or like have kind of worked with or whatnot, but we actually haven't met. I just stumbled across your Instagram page and thought it was really cool. So if anyone's wondering how we know each other, uh, we just met over Instagram.
Yeah, just
And
literally.
yeah, yeah, and I thought it was cool. And like me and like some of my cousins and some of my friends are, I guess, like into, I saw on some of your pages, like you refer to it as witchy shit. And like we're all really interested in some of those things. And some people kind of have, I guess, different views about it. So yeah, looking at your page, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like this is right up my alley. And I noticed that your page says challenging the way that you view witch. So can you kind of tell me a little bit about what that means to you?
So yeah, definitely. And thank you. So like about 3 years ago, or it's a little over 3 years ago, like we started, it was actually myself, and then I asked two other ladies to join me. And it was it was more like a connection through Instagram for one of us, and then somebody else I knew for a little bit. And we were all kind of into spiritual, like we had our spiritual rituals at that time, like we were all into it. So I just felt when I started doing like research, and when I started like really digging into it and talking to my family, I could just feel like a lot of judgment around just the word, right? So
Mhm.
it's like you literally say the word and people, you can feel their energy change. And it's just because society, right? Like just how like how much negative energy has been placed on a word. And like we it just and I get it, but like So to me, and I've had people say to me, why would you choose witch? Like, and when I'm there and I hear that, I just say, because exactly, like, because you just said that to me and how that made me feel. So
Hmm.
like, you hear the word and it makes you feel a certain way. But when I identify as a witch and someone says to me like, well, why witch? Like, why would you choose that? And like how I feel. So then I have to come on like the defense kind of, but you
Yeah.
don't want to just accept it, right? So I just put myself out there because I know how it feels to hear some like when someone hears that and how they react, and like how that makes me feel. So it's just being able to get rid of that. And I hope that makes sense. And it's like, I think to help others just say like I'm a witch and just come out and not, you know what I mean, and have it easier. And I've met a ton of mostly ladies, I'm going to be honest, like mostly women, and like they've said to me like I just got a witch tattoo and it's been since I've connected with them, or I just did this and I don't care if my family think that this is wrong or if it's against their beliefs, like I'm going to do what feels right for me. So it's like being able to have more of like an empowering energy around that word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like negative, like wow, like why would you do that?
Hmm.
Right? We both feel weird. We both feel the energy there and it hits both of us different. So like it just shouldn't be there at all. It should just, the word should just be like, okay, like awesome, right? So
Yeah.
eventually maybe we'll get there.
Yeah. I had another episode about astrology, and like we were kind of just saying that even if it's not something you believe in, even if you think it's just a bunch of crap, like who cares? It's a tool that you're using to change your perspective and learn something about yourself and kind of just put good energy out there. So that's kind of how I feel about all of this as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all just tools like astrology, Reiki, like divination, your
Hmm.
rituals, like all of it are tools that help, especially when for myself, like when like I don't really want to talk about like COVID, but like when all that went down too, I definitely searched deeper for like ways to cope, right? And like, I mean,
Hmm.
I just felt really, really called to this. So I just followed and I was like, okay. Nobody was showing me this on social media. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I just was there and I was like really deep into my yoga and I started meditating and I just felt really called to do these rituals. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm just do it. And then when I did digging in my family, I kind of seen it on my mom's side, right?
Hmm. That's so interesting. I kind of started with, I guess, like my spirituality journey, you could say, because I was having dreams about it and like dreams about my cousins. And so I would kind of talk to them, and we all realized that, you know, there's some energy on that side as well. So yeah, similar thing for me.
No, definitely. And it's like, I think that everyone like has this in them. It's like how connected you are to like nature and source and stuff like that, right? And like when we went into that time of like isolation or whatever, a lot of us turned to nature way more than we ever did. And like I
Yeah.
really connected, like really connected then, right? It was like the good with the bad that came from that because I think a lot of us got really deep into our spirituality then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like looking at like what is my purpose here. And I noticed you had, like you mentioned, a couple different things just then. And I noticed you had a couple different certifications on your website. So can you tell us what they are?
Yeah. So I have my Reiki. So I have level 2, and then I went and did an extra course for animal Reiki, and I'm still trying to finish my like the masters. It's called when you can be a teacher for it. So I'm basically done, but there's just been so much happening in my life that I haven't put the focus there. But that's my goal to get done. So I'll be teaching animal Reiki, but not for people. So I'm not sure if I'll go that route. And
Oh,
I have so I'm a typical Aries because I have all this stuff started and like I go on to something else. And but I did my astrology. So I did a like a certification for that and it was amazing. I can't remember the name of the school right now, sorry, because there was only one, but like she has a ton of courses and it's like really reputable and anyway, I learned a lot and I've been into astrology all of my life since I was a
mhm.
kid, right? But just basically my zodiac sign, like my sun sign, like I'm an Aries, right? So I was really into that. Like my first mug, I think I was like 11 and I still have it and it was an Aries mug, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm typical Aries. But I like learned a lot through that certification, and I am like, I do astrology, so I do birth charts, and that's where I do my energy reports on Witch Co, because I just really enjoy reading energy for the day and just seeing how it all plays out, right? And what I hear back from people. And I did my herbalism, so I did it through the Dominion School of Herbal School Dominion, sorry, and it's in British Columbia, and I did that online, so it's a chartered herbalist. And I'm doing my meditation, and same thing as my master for my Reiki. It's like I'm just not focused on it. And I still think I need time to get there to be able to like really put myself out there in that way.
Mhm.
Um, and my yoga. So it's like I got a bunch of stuff going on. But I
Yeah.
love the astrology and like the everything energy though is all still energy based. And I did a course, and it was for herbalism and astrology combined. So I really want to put focus on that, right? When I get time, I'm just really interested in just diving in really deep with that.
Yeah. That's so cool. And like you said, they're all tied together for sure.
Well, plants have energy, right? So what energy, you know what I mean though? It's
Mhm.
like what is like, what gender is that plant and what planet is that plant associated with? Like it all matters, because just say like for me in Aries. So what is your sign? Did you say you're Scorpio?
I'm a Virgo, but I'm Scorpio rising and Libra moon.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm an Aries, so like I have like my health, just think about health when you're thinking about putting herbalism and astrology together. Like all my life has been like head stuff, like eyes, like neuro, like just a ton of stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. And that is typical for an Aries. So there's certain plants that are going to have certain energies that would go better with, if that makes sense, with like an Aries and these issues.
Yeah, that's
It's
interesting.
so interesting. Like you can go so deep. Like anybody interested in plant medicine, like is like just yeah just I mean I can't remember the name of the school right now. I'm tired, sorry, and my head's all over the place. It's like I have a lot going on this week. Dominion Herbal School, anyway, it's in British Columbia, and they're really good. And there's Wild Rose College, and a lot of people do their course as well. They have a bunch of courses, especially for like clinical, like if you're a massage therapist or anything like that, right? Like you can bring in like fomentations to your services and just all kinds of stuff that you can
Oh,
incorporate, right? Oh yeah, like
yeah.
Wild Cottage. I know that one. I know some people went with them for, I'm not sure the reason. I think they had a better like pay option or something like that. But mom was Dominion, but they're the oldest herbal school in like Canada or whatever. And I found them to be amazing as well, right? I just went off on a tangent. Sorry.
No, that's what always happens. But I was gonna say, I think some like most people are familiar with astrology and different things, but can you explain what Reiki is? Because that's kind of something that I'm like I haven't
Yeah.
tried yet. I don't really know that much about. I don't think many
Yeah.
people do. So can you kind of explain what that is?
Yeah. Like, so Reiki is basically helping like manipulate energy. Okay. So we all have these like chakras in our body, and there's like 7 chakras that go down, and it's a holistic like modality, right? And it to me, like Reiki helps like our whole body, like in and out, like our mental, emotional, our spiritual, like everything, like all like it helps align our energy in our body. And when I first started going to Reiki, it was probably like over 10 years ago now. It was like 10, 11 years ago. And it was with a lady down by Kingsbridge Road. And because I moved back from British Columbia, and I just really needed whatever, like I was doing meditation, I was doing hot yoga, and I was doing Reiki. And whenever I left a Reiki session, I felt 10 pounds lighter, like I was floating on air, right? So you feel lighter, like it helps you get back in that natural flow of like the way our bodies are supposed to flow. And you might not feel, 100% better after one Reiki session, right? Like you're going to have to, and you might, right? Like I've left and I haven't went back for like months, right? So it just depends on you as well and how much you're off balance. So basically, sorry, it's just energy, like manipulating energy and helping align your chakras.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. So it is amazing. I when I first started it, and I started doing distance a lot because we were in COVID, and I always question it, but then I had so many just you know experiences that like blew my mind. Like one lady, I won't forget. One lady she was in Paradise, I think it was. No, it was in Cornerbrook, and I was still skeptical then because I never had like many experiences. And anyway, when I first connected to like you have to have like a surrogate, or you can have a piece of paper and a picture of the person and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And I had a surrogate, and as soon as I connected, I felt very nauseous. And I was like, oh my God, and I was like perfectly fine before this. And I said, I think I'm going to throw up. And I was like, no, I can't stop because she has a timer set and I need to do her Reiki. I can't just flake off.
Mm.
And so I was there, and anyway, it did pass after a while. But after I asked her, I was like, hey, how are you feeling? She was like, well, I wasn't feeling well, but I knew I needed Reiki. She said, but I threw up before Reiki. So like I felt her energy like that. And it
Oh,
like,
wow.
I swear to God, like that's what I was like, okay, I believe in distance Reiki. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried that, but no, I found like for me with like dreams and stuff, and when you kind of open yourself up to signs from the universe, like it just all starts coming and then it doesn't really stop the more you're open to it.
Yeah. And it can get overwhelming. So people need to realize that too. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, and for me, the biggest thing is staying grounded because it's a lot. Like when you get really connected to like all this energy, and if you're not protecting yourself and you're just putting yourself out there, and like you're gonna feel other people's energy then too, right?
Yeah.
So it's just you have to be really grounded. That's why I'm really consistent with like my nature breaks and my like earthing and water and like your, as much as you can nourish your body, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Does
good point.
yeah. And I've seen it, like I've witnessed it, and I felt it like when I first started too, just figuring it all out. It's just like if you're not going to be grounded and you're going to be getting into all this like spiritual stuff, and not saying everybody's going to feel this way, but just experience and seeing it from other people, it's like you're gonna, it's like almost like a burnout feeling.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense. And so, yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on it, but to anyone who kind of says like they don't believe in it or they think it's weird or whatever, have any kind of negative, like, I guess just think that it's silly. Like, what's your response to that?
I just, as long as they're not causing me any drama about it, like they can believe what they want. Do you know what I mean? But if they're affecting me, I'm obviously gonna like, have my opinion on it. Because if like just let people be who they are, right? Let them live the way they want to live. If they're into like spirituality and they're into like doing their rituals and they're doing witchy shit or whatever and
Yeah.
setting their intentions and manifesting, like just let them be that way and
Mhm.
you be the way you want to be. You know what I mean? But when
Yeah.
people have an opinion and they're like in your face about it, then obviously you have to say something back. Right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, that you can't let stuff like that bother you unless it's actually affecting your life, because you'll just consume too much, right? And it'll just drain your energy, and it's just low vibration. Like what they're putting out there is low vibration if they're judging you, right?
Yeah. That's
So I
so
just I
true.
just try not to care anymore. But like obviously I have in the past, right? And it's
Yeah.
just, and now it's just like, no, unless you're really affecting my life or you're in my face like about it, then I'm just gonna be like, whatever, right? And it's just, it plays out easier and less stress and you don't feel exhausted.
Yeah. Makes
Yeah.
sense. And I saw that you have a couple events coming up. So can you talk about those?
Yeah. So this Saturday I have, it is 6:30 till 8, and it's at Sisters in Fitness, Topsail Road. I can't remember the address. And it's 3333 because we went with the angel number. But if cost is an issue, like you guys can just contact us and we can just work with you. Like we're not, you know what I mean, hard to work with here. And it's just we want to get people together, but there's three of us. So we're doing, it's the blood moon, so it's a lunar eclipse, a full moon, and there's three of us, and we're Reiki practitioners. One's a master, and then there's two of us that have our level two, and we're gonna do a Reiki circle with three of us at the same time, and it's gonna be divination and just kind of just getting together. So that's happening. And then on Sunday, on the 29th, we have a high tea event. So that's at the Well Room on Duckworth Street. So that's a natural vibe. They own that and it's upstairs, but it's on the other side. So you can't get in on Water Street. And that's myself, Newfoundland Witch Co, and Jillian, sorry, Gingerly Bakery. So she's a vegan baker. So it's food, it's treats, it's going to be a lot of stuff. I've been supporting her for years. I love her stuff. So it's me and her. It'll be tea, divination, a Reiki circle at the end, a release, because with full moons you release energy. So I'll do a release. And we have Natalie Noseworthy. So she is a performer with Spirit NL, and she performs on her own too. So she's going to be there providing the music while we're doing all that. And Newfoundland Tea Company are coming as well, and they're providing the tea. And we're also going to have a giveaway. So there's a few local spots that are going to be donating to the giveaway. So we're going to have a giveaway at the event. And yeah, and that's $88.88 plus tax. So if you guys are interested, you can book that on like my website, it's on my social media, or you can even call Gingerly with credit card or anything like that, or email her. So there's a few options, and any questions you can touch base with one of us. But I think it's both going to be like I think the events are definitely going to create a light energy, but leading up to it, when we get that full moon energy and it's like really intense, like eclipse energy too, it might not be that light bubbly energy, but once you get there, you're gonna feel like lighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And where can people find you online?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. So it's Newfoundland Witch Company. I think on Instagram it's like Newfoundland_witch_co.
Mhm.
And then Newfoundland Witch Co on Facebook. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's good for this time of year because I feel like even if people aren't maybe into this stuff normally, like tarot readings or crystals or manifestations or like any of this stuff, people kind of do tune into it in the month of October, you know? Everyone kind of gets into that vibe a little bit. So I think it's a great time for people to kind of dip their toes in it and just see if they're interested in any of it. And yeah, I think your page is a great place to do that.
Thank you. No, thank you for just reaching out. It's been like, this is a great podcast. I gotta obviously follow your page, your podcast now. I just seen it, but
Yeah.
you guys, we just connected. So yeah, I gotta check your page out. And the thing is right now, people like are feeling, even without being into this, like the energy is more intense. Like you will feel this. You have a Scorpio rising.
Yeah.
And the veil is thinning. So whether you believe it or not, like I truly believe it. So you're
Hmm.
gonna feel your ancestors, you're gonna feel your love, like you know what I mean? People that are passed on, if they're nearby, like you're gonna feel energy. You might not know what you're feeling, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like this light bubbly energy. Like Scorpio season never is, and especially when we got
Yeah.
like a blood moon and a lunar eclipse and all this stuff happening. So it's just what we're doing, like the events will definitely, you'll leave feeling lighter, right? Like that's what I'm hoping for myself too,
Mhm.
because I feel good, but it's just, I know after Reiki and all that, you just feel so much better, right? So it is a good time to yeah, like you said, dip your toes in, like experiment a little bit or just see what it's about. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all like a bit of fun anyway, too. I mean, like you said, obviously you kind of dive into some maybe heavier feelings, or it's not like you said, like super light at first, but yeah, it is still fun.
definitely. I'm excited. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
And I might
good.
have to come to you for Reiki too.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely. I
fun.
will be doing Reiki in town. I'm gonna be working out of I'm pretty sure a clinic, like just, I have my options and stuff like that. So I'll post about that at some point when I'm set up.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking to me today.
This is great. Thanks for inviting me on.
Of course. Thanks everyone for listening. If you have some witchy energy you want to tune into, like we said, it's a great time to do that. And the Newfoundland Witch Co has all kinds of resources. If you look at the link tree in the Instagram bio, all kinds of stuff there. And you can definitely check out the 2 events happening this weekend. I did want to mention too, she mentioned it to me before we started recording, but the event on Saturday, for the full moon lunar eclipse is also in collaboration with Charlie from The Wandering Witch and Kayla from Free Spirit Studio. So just wanted to add that in there as well. Stay tuned for the next, hopefully, bi-weekly episode. Gonna try and stay consistent with this for the rest of the year, but you can find me at Newfound Happy Hour on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend and a happy Halloween.